Now, ladies and gentlemen, the idea of having a presidential library was born by few people. And these people have worked so hard to put this together. And all we can do is to help them and pray for them that this will come to fruition. But we also have leaders. And one of the leaders for this project is the great lady on my right-hand side here, second to my right, Mrs. Mabel Stevens John. And I will now give the microphone to Mrs. Mabel Stevens John to tell you a little bit about the project that we are here for. Mrs. John, thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to the launching of Siaka Center. Thank you, and we have
Thank you. She is shy sometimes, but not always. Trust me, I know her. I've known her for too long. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. John is somebody who always wants to give credit to whom credit is due. And she was telling me she's not the one that started this thing. And she didn't even want to say anything, just to say thank you for coming. But the man behind this whole idea of the library named after Siaka Stevens, our first president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, is Mr. Bannister Kuruma. Mr. Bannister Kuruma thought about this idea, and he called many people. One of the people he called was my very self here. And those of you who know me, I don't mind my words at all. I tell you as it is. When he first called me about this thing, my first reaction was, no past leader of Sierra Leone deserves anything like this. That was what I exactly told him. But I went back home and thought about it. I said, well, if we believe that all our leaders have been that bad as we claim they were, have we ever tried to know why they were like that? And I called back Mr. Bannister and said, I'm going to take back what I told you today, last week. I've thought about it, and I think this is a great idea. This is something that we can leave to our children, children's children. Because mostly everything about us have been here saying, oh, they say, that's all they say. And I can still remember at one time, for those of you who don't know, I happen to have had some contact, a long contact with President Stevens. These people sitting here might only know him as Dad. I knew him as President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. And I happened to work for him for 6 good years, crisscrossing the country and abroad, following him, reporting on him. And I can also say that I don't know whether he was responsible, but his government jailed me. But at the same time, when my father came to him and said, because he was with my father for a long time, they were all they started the SLPP together with my father, and they became very good friends. And my father didn't come to him at first. He went to Mama Rebecca. Mama Rebecca, if you don't know, that was his wife, mother of these two beautiful ladies sitting here. I said, Becky, what did this brad do again? I me picking, I don't hold. Mama Becky said, boy, you sabi your brother. Me don't know what he do. Then he went to him and said, oh, he said to God, Chief, I don't know what thing they happen. What's that day? You know, and that very day I was out. That was in 1977. Not that I didn't do anything bad. I did. But I thought I was doing something right. As, you know, I was very hot-headed those days. And this is the man we're here to celebrate. So when Mr. Kroma told me about this thing, my reaction was like, no past leader deserves that in Sierra Leone. But then we need to know why our leaders were the way they were. And we are not going to know this until we have places like this where people can go and do research. Instead of, now so John been saying, and so that party been there. We have been hearing that. And I give you one incident. I was reporting at the State House, and this was in 1976. There were rumors around that the two vice presidents were not seeing each other. They were not getting along. And there was a meeting. The president was addressing some delegation that came from abroad. But then second vice president, Siaka Martello, had to leave to attend another occasion. And the President Stevens and the Vice President Kroma stayed behind. And that was in the meeting room at the State House. By the time the meeting was over, and we had left the meeting, we came outside the State House, there was this rumor going on. You see what you be saying? I mean, SIA not see eye to eye. CCA don't come on at the meeting. I mean, these are the kind of rumors that go on in Sierra Leone because people don't have any place to go and find the truth, to do their research. So this is the reason why when Mr. Kroma, after second thought, I said, Mr. Kroma, I will support you. And this has nothing to do with politics. In fact, I don't belong to any party these days. I belong to all the political parties in Sierra Leone. Either by law, by connection, or by choice. I have. So at this moment in my life, I say, my support will be for the person who is good for the country, not only for me, but good for the country. So this one, what we are doing here today has nothing to do with politics. And yes, I must admit, we cannot say anything or do anything for or about Siaka Stevens without delving into APC, because this is the man who created that party. This is the man who worked hard for that party. And for some of us who worked with him and of generations coming after him, there's a lot we have to learn about him. Here is a man who was born by a Galinese Mende woman to a Limba man. Without any disrespect, but those of you from Sierra Leone, we know that tribe. The Limba tribe is very peaceful. Wherever they are in the Medellin, they are always in the corner, minding their own business. We call their Limba corner. And here, it's very interesting. I mean, I always think about this. In the first place, how did Siaka Stevens' father get to a Galinese Mende woman to marry? For those of you